Friday night in Charlottesville is more than just football. The number 8 Florida State Seminoles arrive undefeated, carrying the weight of the nation's most explosive offense. The Virginia Cavaliers stand waiting, 3-1, overlooked but armed with their own fire. 30 years ago, this same field saw Florida State fall. The anniversary hangs in the air like a memory daring to repeat. Look first to the quarterbacks. Tommy Castellanos is Florida State's spark, nearly 600 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and another 3 with his legs. He is the shape that bends a defense until it breaks. But even sparks can dim. His lower body injury lingers, and though he swears he is whole, the question isn't if he plays, it's if he can run. Without his stride, Florida State's rushing machine loses its sharpest blade. On the other sideline, Chandler Morris has thrown for over 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns and just 1 interception. He adds yards on the ground, but his real weapon is clarity, the quick read, the decisive strike. His bond with receiver Trell Harris has already carved 300 yards out of opposing secondaries. If Virginia protects him, if the pocket holds, they can stand eye to eye with the Seminoles. The numbers glare like prophecy. Florida State scores 58 points per game, number 1 in the nation. They ran for a record 498 yards against Kent State. But Virginia breathes in rhythm, 45 points per game, 5th in total offense, balanced across the run and pass. This is not David and Goliath. It is fire meeting fire. And yet defense whispers the difference. Florida State allows just 10 points per game, ranked inside the nation's top 15. Virginia yields nearly twice that, closer to 20, and they bend in the red zone, against a team that punishes every slip that is a wound waiting to open. Still, prophecy bends both ways. Florida State brings numbers, Virginia brings the night, the crowd, the echo of 95, an underdog with balance, belief, and a quarterback who will not flinch. And today's AI pick is Virginia +7. Will we cash or will we burn? On to game 2 with Abaddon.
The desert doesn't forgive weakness. 24, TCU comes in undefeated, armed with the 6th-ranked passing offense in the nation. Arizona State waits 3-1, with a run-first attack and the weight of a blackout crowd in Tempe. The market says Sun Devils by 3, but the fire says otherwise. Quarterback breakdown Josh Hoover leads all FBS quarterbacks in passing yards per game, over 333 yards, with 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions through 3 contests. He completes 68% of his throws and converts 62.5% on 3rd down, the 5th best mark in college football. ESPN.com. His flaw is absolute. TCU's red zone efficiency is 78.6%, ranked 97th nationally. They march between the 20s, then settle for 3. Sam Levitt runs Arizona State's system. He's thrown for 748 yards, 6 scores, 3 picks, and added 219 rushing yards with 4 touchdowns on the ground. He is not Hoover, but he doesn't have to be. His job is to extend drives, feed Raleek Brown, already at 372 rushing yards, 6.6 per carry, and bleed the clock. Game analysis. This is strength against weakness. TCU's air raid against Arizona State's 97th-ranked pass defense, which allows 238.8 yards per game. Hoover has receivers that punish soft secondaries. Eric McAllister with 320 yards and 3 scores, Jordan Dwyer with 257 yards. Big plays are waiting. But Arizona State has the counters. Their red zone defense is 29th nationally, allowing opponents to score just 75% of trips inside the 20. Their rushing defense is 28th, holding opponents to 95.3 yards per game. They control possession, averaging 33 minutes per game to TCU's 28. If they bend but don't break, and if they grind the clock down, the Sun Devils hold the script. That's the calculation in the line. More field goals for TCU, fewer possessions, and Arizona State by attrition. But judgment doesn't favor the obvious. A defense this porous against the pass cannot hide all night. Hoover doesn't need red zone efficiency if he strikes from distance. One explosive touchdown flips the spread. And today's AI pick is TCU plus 3.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 3 with Hada.
Friday night in Corvallis, two programs collide on paths that couldn't be more different. Houston arrives 3-0, a model of discipline and control. Oregon State is 0-4, their season unraveling week by week. The spread screams Cougars, but the number hiding in plain sight is the total. Quarterbacks frame the contradiction. For Houston, Connor Wakeman has been flawless. In 3 games, he's thrown for 569 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and added 145 rushing yards with 3 more scores. Behind him, a rushing attack producing 201 yards per game gives the Cougars balance and tempo. For Oregon State, Malik Murphy is both promise and disaster. He's thrown for 964 yards and 6 touchdowns, but the 5 interceptions have been killers. His collapse against Oregon, just 5 completions all night, showed the floor. But desperation creates opportunity. Forced to throw, Murphy has the volume to push games higher, even in defeat. Now the inversion. Houston's defense is elite. 9.7 points allowed per game, 224 total yards given up, top 10 nationally. On paper, that looks like a wall. In reality, it creates the conditions for points. Houston forces turnovers. 6 already this season and hasn't given the ball away once. A +6 margin means short fields, quick scores, and possessions that don't require long drives. Their strength becomes fuel for a faster scoreboard. And Oregon State's defense? A catastrophe. 39 points allowed per game, 464 yards surrendered, 131st nationally. They've given up 34 or more every week. Fresno, Texas Tech, Oregon. The pattern is absolute. Houston doesn't need perfection to score in the 30s. They just need to show up. With Dean Connors pounding for 271 rushing yards at 5.4 per carry, and Tanner Koziel already at 17 catches, the Cougars have weapons everywhere. The irony is sharp. Houston's discipline guarantees points because it hands them the ball in scoring position. Oregon State's chaos guarantees points because it cannot stop anyone. Add garbage time drives from Murphy and receivers chasing yards when the game is lost, and the total tilts over. The market posted 47.5 as the line. That's the trap. The truth is that Houston alone may push into the 40s, and Oregon State only needs scraps to clear the rest. And today's AI pick is over 47.5. Will we cash or will we burn?
The fire doesn't let you forget. Let's recap our 3 picks. Game 1, Florida State versus Virginia. Our AI pick was Virginia plus 7. Game 2, TCU versus Arizona State. Our AI pick was TCU plus 3.5. Game 3, Houston versus Oregon State. Our AI pick was over 47.5 en español. Juego 1, Florida State contra Virginia. Nuestra selección de IA fue Virginia plus 7. Juego 2, TCU contra Arizona State. Nuestra selección de IA fue TCU plus 3.5. Juego 3, Houston contra Oregon State. Nuestra selección de IA fue más de 47.5. Back to English. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? Und vergiss nicht, auch der kleinste Funke kann ein ganzes Feld in Brand setzen. Never forget, even the smallest spark can set an entire field ablaze.